Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome to our session for this morning. Now, for this session, we are going to be talking about course material number five. Okay, so let me just load up my presentation here. Okay, so for today, my dear students, course material number five would be talking about different types of diseases, and we're going to be focusing on common diseases that can happen to your heart. Okay, so what we are going to be talking about would be more of issues on health and fitness, and mainly we are going to be talking about non-communicable diseases or NCD, wherein it is a medical condition or disease that is non-infectious or non-transmittable among people. It means that you are not able to transfer the disease from one person to another. So it means that you are able to develop on this one. And these non-communicable diseases or NCDs would be focusing on cardiovascular diseases or CVD diseases. Okay, so cardiovascular disease is a broad term that describes a range of diseases that affect the heart and blood vessels and includes conditions like coronary artery disease, myocardial infarction, congenital heart disease, congestive heart failure, hypertension, stroke, and arrhythmias, okay, which is among others. Now, coronary heart diseases or CHDs are caused by a lack of blood supply to the heart muscle resulting from a progressive degenerative disorder known as um, ather- atherosclerosis. Okay, without an adequate blood supply or ischemia, your heart becomes starved of oxygen and the vital nutrients it needs to work properly. This may cause chest pain called angina. Okay, and mainly coronary heart diseases would be the primary causes of a lot of heart diseases, especially to the older ones. Actually, not just the older ones, even at your age, as early as now, especially if you don't practice some. Okay, I did not say all. If you would be practicing a lot of inadequacy when it comes to your health, basically this may happen to you at this very point, or yung tinatawag po natin sudden heart attacks. Okay, now what are common heart attack warnings? Number one, pressure, tightness, pain or a squeezing or aching sensation in your chest, arms that may spread to your neck, jaw, and back. So, parang naninikip po yung dibdib na sumisikip po yung every part of your body. Nausea or nahihilo, indigestion or sumasakit ang tiyan, heartburn or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, cold sweat, fatigue, lightheadedness, or sudden dizziness. Okay. The next one would be high blood pressure or hypertension. Hypertension refers to a chronic, persistent elevation of blood pressure. High blood pressure or hypertension is nicknamed the silent killer. Okay. Its silence often leads to health condition in teens and in young adults. Okay. Ito po yung hindi po natin napapansin, pero kain lang po tayo ng kain ng unhealthy. But the thing is that your blood pressure is already rising. Now, pressure is created when your heart contracts and pumps blood into the arteries, and the blood is forced against the walls of the arteries as it circulates throughout the body. So it means it adds a lot of work to your heart because of the additional pressure that is needed to be able the to push the blood in out of your body into the different parts of your body. Okay. Next is stroke. A stroke or cerebrovascular accident or CVA occurs when the blood supply to parts of your brain is interrupted. So it means nadidelay yung blood flow dun sa part ng brain na yun, or it is reduced. So it means nababawasan. Now, preventing brain tissue from getting oxygen and nutrients. So it means it doesn't have enough nutrients or oxygen passing through it. Now, brain cells begin to die in minutes, okay, when there is no blood in it, okay? Now, the term stroke indicates the sudden onset, okay? Onset, it means that, what do you call this? The gush of stop of blood, okay? A stroke is a medical emergency, and prompt treatment is crucial. Now, early action can reduce brain damage and other complications. Okay. Now, there are two types of stroke. You have your ischemic, wherein the blood is presently delayed in coming in, or there is hemorrhagic stroke, wherein a blood vessel is cut off or ruptured. Okay. Now, in these cases, what happens is that ito po yung sinasabi natin that your facial expression or your face deforms, like bumabagsak, and then half your body is cannot respond anymore, or what we call it is in the state of numbness. Okay. Now, risk stratification. Risk refers to a lifestyle behavior, an environmental exposure or hereditary characteristic that is associated with an increase in occurrence of a particular disease, injury, or health condition. Most risk factors for cardiovascular diseases can be controlled or changed. Therefore, prevention is better than cure. Okay. Prior to your participation in any physical activity, it is important to determine your readiness through pre-participation screening. That's why we usually give you a PAR questionnaire to identify if you have any ailments or if you have any conditions, and we test through fitness testing if you are able to participate in physical activities. Okay. Unmodifiable risk factors. Okay. It means that we are not able to make any changes. Okay. Um, the risk of getting these types of diseases would have these factors embedded when you do them. CVD risk increase, okay, or cardiovascular diseases risk increases as you grow older. Okay, that would be age, because your heart is no longer as efficient as before. Remember, as you get older, the walls of your heart thickens, arteries may be plagued by atherosclerosis or different types of byproducts, which in turn make your heart less able to pump blood throughout the body. Next, gender or sex. Overall, men are more likely than women to develop CVDs. This is attributed to male hormones or androgens, which increases the risk, whereas female hormones, estrogens, protect against atherosclerosis. Okay. Although women tend to develop cardiovascular diseases about 10 years later in life than men, the outcome for women is often worse. So, even if nauna po tayo magkasakit, minsan po yung sa mga babae, mas worse po yung nangyayari sa kanila. Okay? Family history. Your genetics influence you to cardiovascular diseases, such that if your parents or sibling had heart or circulatory problems before age 55, then you are at greater risk than someone with a different family history. Although the risk factors are beyond your control, most of the risk factors of CVD are modifiable. It means that even if sa family ninyo nagkaroon na ng experience of cardiovascular diseases, you may change it, okay, or it can be changed if you are going to be doing certain things to prevent it. Therefore, you can prevent it to happen to you. You can significantly reduce your hereditary risk for CVD by choosing a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Modifiable risk factors. Okay, ibig sabihin, you can make necessary changes. Hypertension. Okay, increases the workload of your heart, resulting in weakening over time. When this is accompanied by other risk factors such as obesity, smoking, high blood cholesterol, or diabetes, the risk of heart attack or stroke increases. Several times, hypertension is directly associated with sodium intake or marami pong asin or maalat, mahilig po sa maalat, such that the more you eat salty food, the higher your blood pressure happens. This is particularly true if you are overweight. Okay? An obese individual is more prone to having hypertension. So, as much as possible, wag po natin kutsain yung mga tao na malalaki. Pero, maging cautious naman po tayo with what we take in our mouth. Okay? Now, the sad thing is that obesity has been happening around, especially during the time of the pandemic. Why? Online ordering, okay, irresponsible eating kasi wala na po tayo. We, we can't go out due to the pandemic and we can't do physical activities. Whereas as early as 2016, the World Health Organization estimated that at least 2.8 million people die each year as a result of overweight or obesity associated with the occurrence of chronic diseases that has dire social and economic consequences. Sadly, in the Philippines, the prevalence of overweight or obesity among adults showed a gradual increase trend. And so just imagine it's already 2022. After the pandemic, this number has already increased. And mainly here in the Philippines, I think we are affected with this one. So on this note, um, I hope with the course material number 5 that we have tackled for today, we should be able to understand now why we should be participating in physical activities and as much as possible have a responsible way of eating or have good eating habits. Okay, so I hope, my dear students, you are able to answer course material number 5 after this session or after this short session that I have shared to you. And you might be able to want to consider trying these out during or not just during the times that you would be needing, but at least most of the time. So, with that, please make sure to answer all information within your course material number 5, and please do not forget to participate in or do your workout of the week. Okay, so with that, this is your coach Chris telling everyone, have a great day, keep safe, God bless, and I'll see you in the next meeting.